All right, what's up, guys? Cheezy and Mocha podcast come back. We're gonna do the Pandora playoffs today. We're gonna be predicting who we think is gonna take it all this year. Probably Trey. But who knows? Could be some other. We got a surprise in the Legacy playoffs, so could be a surprise here. Now, we couldn't record this due to, scheduling conflicts, before a couple games happened, so we know a couple outcomes of games, but, we're still just gonna predict the rest of the playoffs and see how it goes from there.
Yeah, I'm excited. We've already had a thriller of a game, with me losing. But I'm sure these next two wildcard games that are coming out or are supposed to be played are going to be just as good. And hopefully we finish off Pandora like we finished off Legacy with a banger. So let's get into it.
Yeah, first off, we'll just go over the games that already got played. I mean, in the AFC, the Browns beat the Patriots pretty handedly. Kumar coming in at the lowest seed. Grady had the third best record in the AFC, but was a wild card, so not too surprising there. He'll move on and face the Titans in the next round. You got anything else to say about that?
If the Dolphins win, yeah.
Oh wait, yeah. I guess if the Dolphins. Yeah, because the Dolphins are higher. Wait, no, the Chargers are higher.
Right.
Oh, yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I'm dumb. Yeah, my bad.
No, I expected that to happen. Grady obviously has a ton more playoff experience than Kumar did, and it's Kumar's first season in MSPA, and he was fortunate enough to pull out his division and have an appearance in the playoffs. But Grady's he's got too much to prove right now, and it seemed fitting that Grady won the game. The final score was 41-17, and it just seemed like Grady was in control for pretty much the entire time. So, not too shocking there.
All right, yeah. And the next game, bit of a sensitive topic here, but you got knocked out by Kane, who you knocked out in the last Legacy playoffs. You got what do you gotta say about that?
Fuck you, Jameis Winston. I don't know. Kane played a pretty good game. He kind of clutched up in the fourth quarter, had a few touchdowns. I unfortunately just made a couple mistakes early on in the game that kind of costed me. I felt like I played too assertive. It was very uncharacteristic for me to only have 9 points in the first half, especially with the number 2 offense in the league this year. So I kind of it seemed like I kind of shied away from the moment, and Kane ultimately got his revenge against me, so he'll be taking on Kush in the second round.
Oh, sure, he takes on Kush?
Yeah, for sure, because he's the 6th seed.
Oh, god damn it.
That's a guarantee.
Wait. Can I, move that? I can't move it. Fuck. Well, okay, whatever. I'm gonna have to redo my bracket I have on my other screen. But, anyways, let's talk about the games that haven't happened yet. How about Dolphins-Chargers? We got Soli, division winner, going up on the Chargers, going up against Blasian. Blasian won his division. Or, no, he didn't. He made it in 9-7 as a wild card.
Right. This is interesting. Blasian actually beat the Chargers earlier this season. it was like week 13 or 14 or something like that, and Miami ended up pulling out a close game against Sully. Even though it felt like Miami was in control the entire time, the Chargers kind of made a subtle comeback, and they just came up short. I think the Chargers win this game. I think it'll be a tight battle, and the Chargers pull it out in the fourth quarter. I think Sully gets his revenge against Blasian, so should be an interesting one for sure.
Yeah, looking at the stats, it was a close game, 29-26. Just both teams threw the ball pretty good, but also threw a lot of interceptions. Looks like Blasian had to kind of carry his team from like a not so great record at the beginning to like 9-7, but he got it done, made it to the playoffs. Not quite sure who I. I'd say I agree. I think Sully. I'll make it. I think it'll be another close one. I'm gonna say 31-28 Chargers.
31-28. Okay. I'll go 34-27. It's kind of the range I was going with. The Dolphins have Tua, right?
Yeah.
So that'll be pretty interesting with
I think
Tua versus Justin Herbert in the playoffs. I think the Dolphins have Tua. I'm pretty sure they do in this league. I know Tua was on like Jacksonville, and
he didn't play in their game earlier.
He didn't.
He didn't. He was probably injured, I would assume. Let me check. I mean, I almost guarantee he has them. He's probably just injured.
I watched the game.
Never mind, he doesn't have them.
Oh, he doesn't.
Wait, did he get traded like the first season or something? Oh, maybe he's on the IR and it just doesn't show him. He's got a really good backup young guy though, so maybe he did draft someone new. What?
Alex had Miami in the first season. Let me go on the Daddy Leagues real quick. I kind of forgot. I don't remember what happened in the game. I just remember, or I don't remember who played in the game.
He's not on their injured players list. So where the fuck is Tua? Wait, let me search the players in the league.
We are doing. Oh wait. He's on the Patriots.
Yeah, he's on the Patriots. What the fuck?
Who does Miami have?
He has this rookie guy.
Blake
Donaghy? Yeah.
Donaghy. Okay. 6'4", 228 out of Tennessee.
Big arm.
I mean, okay. I guess that's our bad, but
So, I mean, it's pretty much a lateral change, other than I don't think this guy can run, right?
He's got 65 speed, so I'm gonna go for no.
Yeah, so this guy can probably just chuck the ball, and probably better than Tua, to be honest. But
yeah,
Tua's only 3 overall higher.
That's kind of Blasian's offense. He's a pretty
yeah, he's not a.
I feel like
Although I remember when he was with the Falcons earlier in this Madden Legacy, dude, yeah. I swear to God, I gave up more rushing yards to Matt Ryan than like any other running quarterback I actually faced. I don't know how, but this dude just got like every gigantic hole ever. That's I don't know, man. Like Matt Ryan would always have at least 50 yards every time we played each other.
Sometimes when you play guys with like quarterbacks like Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or just pocket passer quarterbacks, you'll focus so much on the passing game when it's 3rd and 10 or whatever that they'll just take off and they'll sneak in these 6-7 yard rushes and all of a sudden it adds up. So I understand that. Like Mayer had 65 rushing yards against me with Tom Brady. in my Week 14 game against them. It was ridiculous. So I understand where you're coming from there.
Yeah. It's unexpected, but yeah.
Kind of back on topic though. Yeah, I think the Chargers pull out a close one. He gets his revenge. So theoretically, if the Chargers do win this game, they would be taking on Tennessee in the divisional round, and the Browns will have to travel to Baltimore to face each other for a third time this season. A little bit more of that Trey Brady rivalry.
How close was that game in Legacy last playoffs? They played last playoffs in Legacy, right? Am I misremembering that?
No, because Trey has Green Bay in Legacy, so they don't. The only way they play each other.
Oh, fuck. God damn it. I don't know. Like, whatever, man. This. I'm not thinking right now.
Meanwhile, in the NFC, Monday at 4:00 Eastern Time, the Seahawks will play the 49ers. Drunk. Tomorrow's Drunk's birthday, so it'll be a birthday game for him. I like San Francisco in this game. I think the defense gets the job done. I think San Francisco wins. I'll go 30 to 20. I think the only hope for Seattle in this game is Russell Wilson. So I just don't see Seattle winning this game. I just don't. I think Drunk's too experienced, too ready for this game, and Drunk's had a really good season again. So yeah, I'll take San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm looking at their previous matchups, and Drunk has never. Or wait, yeah. I don't think Cheeks has ever been within even 2 touchdowns of beating him in the past 2 seasons. Their closest matchup was a 19-point defeat, so I can't really bet against Drunk right now. That one. That's
probably why this game might be closer though, because of their previous matchups. They're just used to playing each other. So, I think Cheeks can kind of get a little closer here, but I just don't see him winning the game ultimately.
Yeah, it definitely could be. It could be a closer game, but I think I'm definitely gonna go Niners. I say Niners. Let's go 45. Seahawks 24.
Okay, that's not too much. Not close to the game.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be that close.
I think one thing that Seattle should do in this game, if they want to win, is I think they should pressure Garoppolo a lot more. Garoppolo's not that great of a quarterback, let's be honest. That team is built around a very heavy run type of scheme on offense. And I just don't. Garoppolo throws a lot of inaccurate passes, so I just kind of think, depending on how Seattle plays this game, if they can pressure Garoppolo and force them to throw these inaccurate passes and shut down the run game, then I think Seattle has a real good shot at winning this wild card matchup. But if they can't put the pressure on Garoppolo, and if they can't put points up on the board, because San Francisco's defense is scary. Drunk is very good with lurking with Quan Alexander at linebacker. So Seattle's going to have to probably send 4 to 5 each time on defense, make sure their corners are locking up the receivers. Other than that, yeah, I don't know. I think San Francisco is going to be a handful.
I agree. There's San Francisco's defense is fucking cracked. Both of them throw a lot of interceptions, but just but San Fran's defense seems like it's gonna lock him down again. I mean, like his offense is pretty unspectacular. He scores a lot of points, but I'm assuming that's mostly just because of how good his defense is. Like they give him short fields, a lot of turnovers, but so.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah. He's
20
ranks
interceptions
20th in the league in yards. He ranks 19th in passing yards and 15th in rushing yards. So that's a very, very average offense.
Yeah. He has 10 defensive touchdowns.
Yeah, and that's insane. So like I said, Seattle's got to put some points up on the board. If it's a tight, close game, low scoring in the third and fourth quarter, I think San Francisco will pull away. Because Seattle, I think Seattle just needs to put the pressure on him early. He needs to have a different game plan than all the other times he's played against them coming up in this game.
Yeah, switch it up. Nothing's worked so far. You gotta try something new. Okay, so divisional round. First off, let's go Ravens Browns. It's probably like the best matchup of the weekend. Who you got in that one?
I think Baltimore wins. Baltimore has done exceptionally well against Cleveland this year. The first time they matched up, Baltimore only won 38-31, but I watched the last game they played, and Baltimore won 34-16. It just doesn't feel like it didn't feel like Grady had any control in that second matchup. Lamar Jackson with Trey, that's just a really hard combination to stop. And I think Baltimore ultimately kind of just, powers through this week. I think Baltimore will win 40-27. That's what I'm going to go with.
Damn.
I think it kind of can be like a 1 to 2 touchdown game throughout, and Cleveland kind of just comes up short, maybe misses a couple kind of falls short on a couple key possessions in the third and fourth quarter. I think Baltimore wins this game and moves to the AFC Championship.
I think Grady's only chance is probably like running the ball like crazy good, because if you can limit turnovers, that's probably the best way to do it against Trey, because every time you play him, he's gonna get his, like, it's so hard to not throw at least like 2 interceptions against Trey, especially against his second ranked defense, and at least in like every category. He's pretty much ranked at least third in like every defensive category.
He's top 5 in every single category on both sides of the ball except for rushing yards.
Which is surprising since he has Lamar, but he's always been more of a passing guy, so.
Right.
And even with that said, he's 9th. Like yeah, I think I gotta go with Trey on this one. I don't know how you as much as you say you could just like if you play perfectly against Trey, you gotta he'll just get his plays, especially with having Marquise Brown and Lamar Jackson on offense. Like, you just can't stop everything. So I agree. I think it's probably Ravens. I say probably I agree, like 41, and Browns 28.
28.
I think just Grady starts getting a little bit more desperate, and then like that adds more points to the board for Trey. All right.
You want to go on the other side of the AFC spectrum with the Chargers and the Titans?
Yeah.
Theoretically, we would be seeing. I think you think Trey and Grady's the best match. I think this is the best matchup here. The Chargers and the Titans. I think this game will be a lot closer. I think it'll go down to the wire. I really like this matchup because I think both of these players are very grimy and they're very tough to play against. I think Nick pulls this one out 31-28. I think he gets a game-winning field goal. Tennessee's defense this season is crazy. They are first in allowing rushing yards. They're second in passing yards, and they are second in just yards total. Defense has locked down very well, and that's led by Adoree Jackson and Kevin Byard and all those guys. Tennessee beat Trey in week 3. It was a very sloppy win, but it was a win. I'm sure you'll take any win against Trey, honestly. His 2 losses are to the Browns and to the Packers, and both of those teams are no slouch. Nick has looked very good this season, and I've been very impressed with how he's played. So I think 31-28 for the Titans. I think they'll be having a rematch in the AFC Championship between the Titans and the Ravens.
Oh man, I keep getting these confused. I was thinking the entire time you were talking that the Titans were Kush.
No, Kush is the Packers.
It's Nick. It's Nick versus Sully. Okay. God, I really need to like
wake up.
Yeah. Yeah. The Knicks' passing stats this season are kind of ridiculous. Almost 5,000 yards with Derek Carr, 37 touchdowns, only 19 interceptions. That's still a lot, but like for Madden standards, it's not that many.
Right. He's made him look very good this season.
I mean, and then you got Sully's stats with Herbert are kind of ridiculous too. A little bit less yards, but still 4,600, more touchdowns, but a lot more interceptions. 9 more interceptions. But yeah, I agree. This is a pretty good matchup. Oh man, I think I gotta go Nick though. It's like, yeah, if he was able to beat Trey, and his defense is like that cracked, I don't know if Sully can figure out a way around his defense. Sully doesn't quite have that high level of a defense, so I think it's just like a situation where one side makes more stops than the other, and relatively low scoring maybe. At least for it seems like Pandora's has pretty high scores, but like I'd say like 28-17 Titans.
I think it's I would like to see a low scoring game once in a while, but I just feel like it's very unrealistic for a game that both teams end up in under 20 points. And usually if a team does not score 20 points, I feel like it's more than likely a blowout. So it's very hard for me to predict games that end with scores like 20-14 or something like that. So that's why I'm kind of going 31-28 here. But yeah, Tennessee, they've looked very good this season. I think they deserve to see a conference championship this year.
Titans look really good. That's going to be a great matchup in the AFC Championship. But let's get to the NFC side. We got Eagles, Bears. Or, never mind. God damn it.
Niners.
Eagles, Niners.
Great game right here. Bradley versus Drunk. This should be a classic. Bradley, the king of out routes. I'm very interested in seeing how Bradley adjusts and schemes around the Niners' very harsh defense. And we all know Drunk in the playoffs is kind of a different breed. I've been here for 3 seasons, but he's kind of shown me that he really shows up in the playoffs. Philly, I think Philly will have a lot of trouble this game, but I think when I look at how Drunk is on offense, I don't think the Niners can really hold the Eagles to a certain amount of points for 48 minutes. I just don't see Philly scoring under 20 points. I think Philly wins this game. I'm going to go 27-17. I like Philly in this game. I think he'll get the job done.
I agree with you. I think looks like we're not really having that different of brackets here, but but like I think this is just a relatively bad matchup for Drunk, honestly, because they played earlier this season, like week 1, so a lot could have changed at this point, but
Right.
It was a high scoring game. Philly beat Drunk 40-34.
Okay.
Scoring 40 points on the Niners defense is pretty impressive. And he also only threw 1 interception, which concerns me because I know that Brad is pretty good at taking care of the ball in general. So, and he only threw 1 interception in their meeting earlier. So I mean, he I feel like if the Niners aren't getting takeaways, it's gonna be hard for them to keep up with the Eagles, considering he couldn't really hold them earlier this year, and their his Drunk's defense's relative weakness is their run defense, and Miles Sanders kind of popped off, so I'm not quite sure if I don't think Drunk will be able to keep up in this one. I think it'll still be a close game, but I think Drunk will I think Brad will take it, probably like I'll say 38 to 38-31.
38-31. Yeah, Bradley's a very good player, and he's very quiet. I feel like he's like he's kind of the Kawhi Leonard of the league, I guess. He doesn't talk too much, but he's very, very good, and he's very efficient with how he plays. And it's no surprise to me that he went 14-2 this season, and it's no surprise to me that he's got a first round bye again. So I just don't see Philly being stopped here in this divisional round. Sorry, San Fran, but I just don't see you guys winning this game.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Green Bay versus Chicago, another Kush versus Kane game. These two always go at it. They're in the same division in Legacy, and they're in the same division in this league, so they'll be seeing each other for a 3rd time this season. I'm going to be honest. I don't see Chicago winning this game in any way possible. I think Green Bay completely just takes control. They've been virtually unstoppable this season. Green Bay's one loss, I believe, was to Philly. And that was a very tight game. I think Jordan Love kind of choked that game. He had a very shitty, inaccurate pass that turned into a pick six late in the fourth quarter. I don't see that happening again. But with that being said, I think Green Bay kind of just powers their way through this game. I say Green Bay will win 45-28.
Yeah, it appears they play in their two matchups. Kush took the first one 40-10. Not really that close.
That game was against the CPU.
Oh, was it? Okay.
It was. Their only game was week 9.
Okay, then that one was closer. 52-45. Kane was the Bears the previous season too, right?
Yep.
All right. To the divisional round. Their first matchup was 32-29 there, and then 38-14 in the next one. So Kush hasn't lost to him yet. And they only have like one close matchup a year. Well, I guess it's whatever. It's a small sample size. But I don't know. I don't know how you can score 45 points and then not win the game. Like that's oh man.
Did you watch that game or no?
No.
It was a crazy game. Green Bay was blowing out Chicago, and in the third quarter, Chicago scored 24 and like unanswered points or something like that.
Oh, actually, I might have been. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Actually, I think I might have watched it.
It was a very intense game, and Green Bay, like Kane, kind of choked at the end. Green Bay pulled it out and snuck out of there with a win. I mean, what are your thoughts though? Do you really see Green Bay losing this game?
I can't see him losing if he's just consistently putting up 40 plus on Kane's defense. Like Kane's offense is great, but like your offense can only be so great if your defense is allowing 40 plus points every game.
Right.
So I think Green Bay pulls it out.
Jeez, we have the same bracket. Dead center. So AFC Championship, Baltimore versus Tennessee. Theoretically, that's what we both agreed upon. We are having a rematch between Nick and Trey. And the last time these two played, Nick won 27-22. I mentioned that earlier in the video. And I think Trey gets his revenge here. I think Trey comes into this game much more prepared, much more focused. Lamar Jackson was held to 209 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions in the previous matchup against Tennessee. What I found interesting about this game was Tennessee threw 4 interceptions and still came out with the victory. Baltimore did not score a touchdown until the fourth quarter in their previous matchup. Baltimore had 5 field goals, and they ended up scoring a touchdown, I believe, in like the beginning of the fourth quarter. I think that's how it went. Maybe he scored a touchdown in the late third, but I remember the theme of that game was Trey was being held out of the end zone. But Trey gets his revenge here. I think ever since that game happened, Trey woke up and completely took over the AFC, doing what he usually does. I can see him winning this game. I will say 35-27.
Two great defenses, man. Yeah, rough. Both players threw a lot of interceptions. How do you get to 22 points? like you said, just kicking a shit ton of field goals. Must have been the case. If one of those,
It was a hard game to watch.
if one of those field goals turns into a touchdown, it's a tie game. So, or well, nearly a tie game.
Right.
He said Trey turned the corner ever since he got beat, and it's like that's week 2. Like, yeah,
Right.
he turned the corner week 2, man. Yeah. I mean, he normally stomps everyone, but yeah, he only had like 3 close games after that.
I guess he only had I guess he had 2 touchdowns that game because I'm looking at the stats and I see Devontae Freeman had a touchdown as well. So
Yeah,
I guess
and
screwed up there. But Devontae Freeman 5 rushes for 6 yards. That's disgusting. That touchdown's practically meaningless.
J.K. Dobbins must have got like injured or something.
He did get injured that game.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I think Baltimore gets his revenge here. I can see Tennessee making it a close game, but for Nick to beat Trey twice, that would be very impressive. And I don't think it's gonna happen. Sorry, Nick.
We're gonna finally differ. I'm gonna say Nick beats him again. That's
okay.
I believe in Nick this season. I think he's pulling out the dubs. He's pulling out the big guns. Now that he knows he can beat Trey, he might come out more confident, which could be a blessing, could be a curse. But I think he comes out, holds Trey down. Trey makes some mistakes, doesn't play his perfect game. Titans win, let's say 27-24.
Okay. I like it. I think it'll definitely be a good game either way. Whoever wins, I think it can't be a blowout. I just don't see these two pulling away from each other. I think the optimistic hope here is that Trey loses. He's kind of the evil empire of the league, but I don't know. I just don't see Lamar Jackson getting held to what he got held last time. That's a rough stat line. We'll see.
I think Nick's kind of over the oh my god, I'm playing Trey factor at this point. Like, he's been playing him for like 2 Maddens at this point. Actually, never mind. I don't think he had the Green Bay. I don't think he had Green Bay the Madden before. But like this entire Madden, he's been playing him. So I think he's kind of over the gonna get nervous factor. But like, I think he'll come out, play a great game, beat Trey. And let's see who he matches up with on the Super Bowl. We got Eagles versus Packers, Kush versus Brad. Let's see.
Yeah,
These guys matched up.
They did, and Brad ended up pulling it out. I think I mentioned it earlier. Jordan Love threw a horrible pass in the 4th quarter. It was like a drag route, and it wasn't even close, and it turned into a pick 6. And he ended up winning that game. I think the score was like 39-31. It was something along the lines of that. And I think Kush wins this game barely. I think Kush just kind of, I don't know. I think Kush gets an ugly win here, and I'll tell you why. I think his run game is going to get stopped. I think Jordan Love is going to be throwing the rock for a majority of the second half. Bradley usually plays well against Green Bay's or just Kush's run game in general. especially back in the Giants games where he would play Philly twice a year. Saquon wasn't doing too much against Philly usually in those games, and I kind of think that's going to be the revolving theme around this game. There's going to be a lot of throwing, and Kush is an excellent passer when he isn't making poor decisions. I think if Kush manages to not turn the ball over in this game, he will have a very, very high chance at pulling this one out. I think Green Bay wins a high-scoring affair. I'll go 42-38. I like Kush in this game.
I'm looking back on all their matchups, even on Legacy. It's very back and forth.
Yeah, it's a rivalry.
Kush definitely had Brad's number the last 2 seasons, but Brad beat him in Pandora, like we said, this year, and the last time they matched up, let's see, the 2 seasons before the last season in Legacy, Brad won twice, and won 3 times actually, because they matched up in the postseason and he won again too. But I guess it's, oh man, this is rough then. It's like,
this would be an ideal NFC Championship matchup.
This would. I think, God, it's gotta be a close game, but I don't know. I feel like I just gotta go with a what have you been doing for me now, like recently, type of feel. And although, okay, that's hard to say, because I mean, Kush lost to him this season, but I think Kush is flying higher right now. I'm just gonna go Kush. I don't even know what else to say about it. I think it's super high scoring. Let's say 45. Or right, yeah, 45. 42.
I'll tell you this. I think Kush has 0 pressure on him right now. Especially after his Super Bowl championship with the Giants. I think that kind of took the chip off his shoulder. The constant word in his ear that you need to win a championship and you will not have a specific reputation until you win a championship type of world that he had evolved around him. And now that he won that championship, he went 15-1 with the Packers this season, and that's the best record he's finished with in his MSPA tenure. And Jordan Love had 48 touchdowns this year. 48. Nearly threw for 5,000 yards. Deshaun Jackson has been the same Deshaun Jackson that we've been watching for years now. He's going to have Devontae Adams back, coming off the injury, and that's just a handful on their own. Those 2 receivers right there. I think Kush is just he's in a very good spot right now with his team. So I think Bradley, he made the Super Bowl last season in Pandora. I think the magic kind of just runs out in this game.
I think this is the best matchup in the if this happens. This will be the best game. Because I can't see this game being a blowout at all in either way.
No.
There's no way. I think it'll be. I can only see this game going one way, and it's a high-scoring, close game, all the way down to the finish. So that's why this game will be must watch if the bracket plays out like this.
I agree.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
And then in the Super Bowl, I got Packers Titans. I forgot we actually.
The one disagreement.
Yeah, I got Packers Titans. You got Packers Ravens. Who do you got in yours?
I think Trey kind of has a revenge game here. I think after that NFC Championship loss to Kush back in Legacy between the Packers and the Giants, Trey kind of has the momentum here. Not momentum, but kind of the feeling that, okay, you beat me in the NFC Championship. Now I'm going to take a Super Bowl from you. And it's kind of fitting that Trey would be playing Green Bay. If this does happen, it'd be kind of fitting that Trey plays Green Bay in the Super Bowl, with that being the team he used in Legacy. So I think Trey... So Kush has not played Trey with the Ravens yet. So this would be an entirely new look for Kush. And to be honest, you kind of just have to think about, who's the better user. And I think we can both agree that Trey's better than Kush. That's no shot at Kush. That's just how it's been. And I think Trey, with the Baltimore Ravens, repeats in the Super Bowl. It's very hard for me to not believe that'll happen, but I think it will. I think Trey wins. I'm going to go 38-28.
Yeah. If I had Ravens versus Packers in the Super Bowl, I'd say probably Ravens again. Although I think it'd be a closer matchup than 10-point spread, honestly. I think it'd be a little bit higher scoring than that. I think both our offenses would just pop off, but I got Packers Titans. I think this is interesting. The Titans defense is so good. The Packers offense is also so good. Man.
Now, I want to tell you something before you make your prediction here. Did you watch their game in Week 15? Because Kush played Nick.
They
Week
did,
15.
didn't they? I didn't.
They did. So the final score that it's showing is incorrect because the game ended up having to be simulated. There was a desync in the third quarter. Kush was beating Nick 31-9 in the third quarter.
Oof.
It was a blowout. It was an absolute just domination by Kush. So I just wanted to tell you that before you made your prediction.
I was kind of riding the like a Nick hype train. I was gonna pick him. I was gonna pick Nick. Sort of like the hype train I was riding when I predicted Kush would win the Super Bowl. I was kind of on the fence of picking Nick anyways, but I think if Kush has 31 points on him in the third quarter, it's kind of. I think Kush pulls it out. I was on the fence picking Nick anyways, but I think knowing they matched up earlier was pretty late in the season too. It wasn't that early.
It was a very meaningful game.
Yeah, I think Packers 35, Titans 21.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree with you there. I think if Green Bay were to play Tennessee, like you predicted, I think Green Bay wins. I would hope that it would be a closer game this time, but if the game that they had was in the in the beginning of the season, then I would probably be a little more leaned towards a closer game in the Super Bowl. But their game happened very recently, and it seemed like Kush just had completely dominated Nick in every form of that game. And I don't know. It's gonna be tough. Nick's gonna have to be pulling out some impressive wins here if he wants a Super Bowl ring, because I don't think he has a ring yet. And
Yeah, I think this is a pretty exciting playoff race this year. You got some faces you know from Legacy, faces you don't know from Legacy. Just interesting. People of different teams, different matchups, how they're gonna shake out. I think this will be a great playoff run for sure.
I definitely agree. Kind of funny that we both had very similar brackets. Only one disagreement, and it was it's a game that could go either way. So we did not have any trouble doing that one.
To be fair, I probably would have predicted you would beat Kane, but I probably wouldn't have predicted you to beat. You would have played.
I would have had to play Brad, and I don't know if I could win that game. I should have beat Kane, but I'm not gonna go there. But it definitely felt like I should have won that game.
All right. Well, that's our brackets. Let me know if any of you guys feel disrespected before you play your games. Hopefully this gives some of you we didn't predict chip on your shoulder. But yeah, we're gonna sign out for now. We'll see you next time.
Tune in next week. Pandora reveal. Gonna be a good episode.
Yeah, Pandora reveal, just like we did a Legacy reveal. We're gonna talk about all of the changes.
Dive into it.
Yeah. See you later.
Peace.